Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning into your general read. For the main read, I'm using the Modern Spellcaster's Tarot by Melanie Marquis, illustrated by Scott Murphy. For the Oracle cards, the Angel Answers Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. This is Aries. Okay. Now, that's my... Okay. So, what do we got going on here? I feel like it's good. You seem to be going through a situation here at the moment. So let's see. You got the 8 of Wands and the 5 of Wands coming into this. Which the 8 to me can either be speed, travel, or sometimes both. A lot of times I see it as speed though, I'll be honest with you. But then the 5 there, that's usually some type of kerfuffle, some version of a disagreement. Sometimes just ridiculousness. I honestly feel like the situation is coming in fast and causing confusion. That's my first thought. And I feel like that confusion is causing a kerfuffle. I feel like there's minor disagreements. I don't feel like there's anybody having a flat out fit. But I feel like there's words being said between people because of the rush. This is coming in so fast that people are getting overwhelmed and just saying things and reacting to things that it's causing an issue. And people seem to be reacting more than proactive. It feels more reactive than proactive due to the speed of the situation. Now that being said, I feel like it's not really. I don't see there's any big issues in the sense at this point. I don't feel like anybody's this person is fed up with that person or anything like that. I just feel like there's discord and chaos, and it's the speed of the situation that's causing a problem. Now, the thing is, this goes on until all of a sudden you hit the Tower. Now, the Tower is a card, in this situation anyway, I feel like it's saying, whatever the kerfuffle is, somebody, puts their foot down and, that's enough. And I feel like everything is, redefined. I'm getting this list feel, this bam, alright, enough of the kerfuffle. And somebody's laying out the rules, laying down the law of how things are going to be handled. I feel like bam, it's going in quick. And from the environment side, you have the 2 of Wands, which I feel like someone is trying to tie the 2 ends together. Someone is trying to put the situation together. I honestly feel like for you, ironically, I feel like it's a family issue. It could go in different ways. It's general read, so apply it as necessary for you. I watch other people's too sometimes. Guys! My dogs are messing with each other today. I don't know what's up with that. They usually get along pretty well, but today is the day we just have to have attitude with each other. Sorry about that. What's the matter with you? Chloe, steal your seat? Yep, and here he is to tell on his sister. She stole my seat. I bet you that's what the problem is. She's probably sitting in his seat and he's upset about it. I'll come out there after, okay? Yeah, I know. Okay. That threw me off for a second. Alright, so we're back here. So the Tower comes in. Alright, I'm seeing that list again, so it's coming in a little softer than it did before. But I feel like people are tying the loose ends together. The kerfuffle, I feel like that's enough of that. And I don't know why, but I feel like originally the information or whatever came in quickly, I feel like the thought... Is this family? Family. I feel like it just seemed like it would work itself out, and then when this person or somebody recognizes it's not, it's just getting worse, somebody steps in and just, all right, enough is enough. and this is how this is going to go, and this is what needs to be handled here. And I feel like somebody's lining things up because they're just kind of fed up, and they're just like, this is how it goes. It feels really like rigid, like this is how it is. Because I'm sick of the people. I'm sick of the kerfuffle. I don't know why I'm big on the word kerfuffle right now, but I am. Now, above the tower, you have the world. So this situation coming in, causing this discord, chaos, kerfuffle, because I have to say that word, I don't know. Once it hits the tower, this is also the world, which basically says, all right, the tower is like a breakdown, probably a little bit uncomfortable, usually a little bit uncomfortable. But the world is saying above it, like, not only is this a breakdown, but this is starting a whole new era. Things are being realigned and they're going to be adhered to going forward. So I feel like you need to know this so you can align yourself in a way where you realize this isn't like just a momentary thing. Like, this is a new way this situation is going to be handled. And it's going to go for a while, for a good cycle at least. And like typically the world, what is that, like a 9-year cycle? I don't know why I'm coming up with that. I guess 1 to 9. So we're just going to throw that out there. But it's going to go on for a while. Now, somebody steps in, and that's the tower. I feel like that's the tower happening. Somebody's stepping in and like, it's enough of this chaos. And they put their foot down and they line it up. This is how it is. And I feel like you take part and you grab hold of what you need to grab hold of and you own a piece of this. Okay, so whatever the situation is, you own a piece of it. And you're going to handle your piece. The person who stepped in and put everything in line, I feel like they're exiting the situation at that point. The Six of Swords, in the sense of like, I feel like they're just kind of like, they said their piece, and then this is just how we're going to do it, and then they just kind of back off, if that makes sense. Not like they're completely out of the situation, but they're not like micromanaging, if that makes sense. Because I really feel like this is a family affair. And I feel like the chaos, this person just stepped in to stop the chaos. I think they defined certain things, and I feel like you're taking a hold of a certain piece of it, which seems really strange to me, but whatever you're taking a hold of, you seem to be taking a hold of that piece. I feel like this is a reoccurring situation. I have this weird feeling, like almost like sometimes like people do, what do they call it? Secret Santa, or there's other names for it. Where like you put your name in a hat for like if there's 5 families and everybody puts their name in the hat, and everybody like you have your name in the hat maybe 3 times and everybody picks 3. You just can't pick your own. And then they do that every year. Like you get 3 gifts for the people you picked. And that's how they take care of it. I feel like it's something like that comes around every year. Something like that, or like some type of event, or something like that. And it used to be handled a certain way, and it just came up really quick, whatever the situation is. Like for some reason it has to be handled now instead of whenever it usually would be, something like that. And the process or how it's being handled is different from this point on, because the way it's handled this time seems like this is how it's going to be continually handled every time it comes around. And it might be because usually there is a bit of discord with this situation. Alright. It feels like I'm feeling the chaos again from this. So, because it feels like up in the air, like things are chaotic. That being said, because that's another catchphrase I like to say, whatever it is, whatever piece you get a hold of, I feel like you're happy. You're not over the moon, but you're happy. It's fine. Like, it's not like you're like, yay, but it's like, it's fine. It's okay. It's good. Nothing wrong with it. And I feel like whatever you decided to take ownership of this situation, there's a little bit of stress with it, but you're also very good at it. It works out. Whatever you took a hold of, you took a hold of it because you wanted the situation to have a bit of stability in a certain way. And it's working out. You got the Ten of Wands with the Success card, which Ten of Wands is usually success through stress in a different way. Sometimes not as easy. Sometimes you're dropping things along the way. You're not succeeding in everything, but you're succeeding in most of the situations. But it's a very stressful situation nonetheless. But this is saying even though it's very stressful for you, you're also succeeding at it. You're doing very well. I feel like this is the initial pickup of the situation. Alright, I don't think we're done with this yet. when I pick up this card, especially the Ten of Wands, like when you first take hold of this piece you're going to own, it feels like a lot. But I feel like it's just the initial digging in and doing it. The initial. Once you do it once or twice, I feel like it's a lot easier going forward. The success seems to be more in the future for this situation. Just feels really burdensome at first till you get used to it, then it's okay. Okay. I hope I made sense with that. Now, like I feel like this is being reinforced in the future because this person steps out. I feel like they lay down the law about how things are going to be handled. You own your piece, but I feel like you kind of push back and kind of get like try to get approval in the sense of like what you're doing. And your ready comes up on their side, and I feel like if you can see the person on that card, which I don't know if you can see it, like their hands are open and they're handing something over. Like I feel like this person's letting go in a sense. Like they're just like whatever you want to do is fine. I just don't want the craziness. I don't want people like. I don't want the chaos. It's the only reason, like, you do what you want with it, but you don't need my approval. I'm just laying down the law, like, we're not going to have arguments about it. That's all. And I feel like this is fine. I don't feel like you're worried about that, and I feel like you're comfortable with that. And, like, this moment, like, going forward, I feel like most people involved are pretty good. You got the Page of Wands? Page of Wands with the Romance card here. Page of Wands in this deck, like he's listening to birds. That's what it looks like. So he's like keeping an ear out. Everybody, it feels like people are getting along and like everybody's kind of doing well with the situation. The romance in this situation makes me feel like, again, like I feel like whatever the situation is, because it feels like a family situation to me, people are getting along. Like I feel like people are coming together closer. Like this tower moment, whoever this was that stepped in with this tower, that was very important because they got sick of the situation and they like defined how things were going to be done. Then they stepped back, and I feel like it took a life of its own after that, but it did well. Somebody just had to step in and stop the chaos, and that's the whole point. All right, only because I feel like this might have gone a little left and right. Let me just go from the beginning to end real quick, and hopefully this makes sense. So a situation comes in pretty quickly. I feel like I really do feel like it's family, but definitely it's a general read. Apply it where you feel necessary. Comes in quickly, causes a kerfuffle, because I just like that word, to be honest with you. Chaos. Somebody steps in and says enough of the chaos and defines the situation flat out. This is how we're going to handle it. The reason they're doing that is because they're trying to tie everything together. They're trying to keep things from being so crazy. And they're just trying to make sure everything is taken care of and stop people from going in this little chaos, little petty arguments, petty disagreements type thing. I feel like some people are going off and doing their own thing and it's not meshing with the whole. That's another reason this person's stepping in, because it's more of a kerfuffle. Again, I like that word. I think that was my phone. That being said, when this happens, this is something that's going to be reoccurring. That's what I'm getting with the World card. Like, it's a new way of handling this situation. It's going to be reoccurring going forward. And even though you're not... I feel like you're okay with the piece you pick up. You pick up a piece of it. You're not over the moon, but you're okay with it. When you first pick it up, it is stressful. But just until you've done it like 2 or 3 times, whatever it is, you just got to get used to it. And I feel like you're going to be fine. It's just the initial picking up of whatever piece you're picking up. It does seem a bit stressful, but it calms down later once you are more comfortable with what you're doing. So whatever you're picking up from this situation, it does feel like a lot at first. But once you're used to it, you're okay. I don't know why. I feel like this needs to be talked about a little more, but I'm not understanding what we're missing. Because it does seem like it's like, when you first get involved in it, I feel like there's a little bit of anxiety with it. It feels like a lot. But I feel like once you've actually stepped, like it's kind of like walking on the outside of a pool and you know it's going to be cold and you're nervous about getting in there because you don't want to freeze your butt off. And then just you're like, all right, and you just jump in and you just douse yourself. And then like after a minute or two, you're kind of comfortable in it because your body's used to it. So you're happy because you're used to it, like it's fine. If that makes sense. Because it's kind of like that feeling here. Like you're looking at it and you're like, oh boy. And you're looking at it like it's going to be jumping into a cold pond or a cold pool, whatever. And until you jump in, you're having a little bit of anxiety. You're like, I don't want to freeze my butt off. But once you jump in, you're fine. And then that's a success. Good, good. And I feel like the other side, like I feel like you're going to look for like a little bit of acknowledgement from the person who's the tower person, the person that did that. But I feel like they're going to push back like, I don't, you don't need my approval to do what you want. I just don't want the discord is all they're saying. And they're just letting you know. And I feel like you're very comfortable with that. And that attitude seems to be helping everybody because I feel like people are getting along. People are listening to each other more. Especially with this because they're using wands as a communicator instead of fire. They're using it more as air. I'm definitely getting like there's a lot more communication going on, a lot more listening to each other. The listening seems to go. I feel like you're listening more to other people and how things are going on, and I feel like that's fine. And people, the romance card here, I feel like everybody's getting along and everybody's happy with the outcome. It worked out really well. Good? Alright, so I hope that made sense. I'm going to wrap this up before I go through it a third time. Thank you for watching. Of course, if you would like a direct reading from me, go ahead and shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.